What's up? It's me, Emily. Welcome to another episode of EP Life. Here at EP Life, we're talking about lifestyle, media reviews, and future mom life. Today is a great day because we have an anticipated video of adult coloring books. So if you're looking for what kind of adult coloring books are out there, where to start, if you didn't know what kind of different categories adult coloring books have, this is definitely the video for you. I do have a bunch. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11. I'm gonna briefly go through these, guys. This is not something that you have to get 11 of, but I'm extra. But before we get into the video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the bell to get any further notifications on whenever I post a new video. I put these on the table here. I'm in the living room, and I separated them by, I guess, hobby or category. I really don't know what's the right word. But essentially, pretty self-explanatory. Adult coloring books are essentially like children's coloring books. You know, have the blank image, fill it in, color, whatever you want to do. I personally loved coloring as a kid. I did it with my mom all the time. My mother loved to color with my sister and I. And you know, years ago, they were suggested to me, and I always had this stigma that, oh, the adult coloring books are just like patterns and flowers. Like, you know, there's not really so many out there that interest me, and I really don't want to sit there and color in these very thin, detailed images that'll be there forever. But I was actually mistaken. My therapist suggested it because I started sketching again, and as I started to look, I realized there were so many different ones out here. So I'm going to start with what they call the Mindfulness collection. So this one is the, I don't know if you can see it, Ultimate Clear. The Mindfulness Coloring Book, Anti-Stress Art Therapy for Busy People. And this is by Emma Farrons. Just go ahead after the video. I may just go ahead and find these guys online and just link them in the description to prevent you from going through the headache and commenting. Also, I will say majority of these books you can find locally, if not on Amazon. Definitely compare your prices because some places have them a little slightly higher than price than others, and some places you can get them for cheaper. Okay, so the Mindfulness Coloring Book is essentially, you see my big, you know, sausage fingers. My favorite thing about this book is obviously its size. And so just to show you the kind of images it has in here, it's just pretty much, you know, different patterns. Why am I finding all pages with leaves? Like, I'm like, is this the leaf book? All right, so, you know, pages with lines, pages with circles, shapes, etc. I decided to pick this one up, number one, because of its height. Number two, I'm forever going somewhere, whether I'm on the bus traveling, usually to Atlantic City, or if I am, like, see, they got this cool fish one in here, traveling and, you know, sitting in the doctor's office, and this is a quick, easy, you know, doodle, kill time size. I don't have to be walking around with this big book, you know, like I'm running the class. And you could definitely put this, like, if you're the type that wear, you know, the pants with the big pockets or cargo pants, just stick it in your pocket, stick it in your purse. Something nice, simple, compact. Number one, the national bestseller. Color your way to peace and calm wherever you are. Also great to have if you are sitting at a desk working. So, got Mindfulness Coloring Book, which brings Mindfulness Coloring Book of Volume 2. Okay, so I picked up this one because I actually liked Mindfulness Coloring Book number 1. This one, pretty straightforward. Same images, same author. Well, not so much same images. Same types of images, excuse me. Same author. Engage your creativity and color your way to calm. Which don't believe, I mean, believe what you want to believe. I'm not here to convince you of anything, but these help. So towards the end of 2020, it's 2021, and I would safely say all of 2020, I had some type of anxiety, and finding out about these towards the end of the year was definitely beneficial. They help you to escape, clear your mind. Some of them have inspirational messages and activities in them. Some of these, like the mindfulness coloring books, have sections. This one, well, I shouldn't say all of them, because some of them actually have, like, you know, an area in the book, you know, next to the acknowledgements and the thanks, where you can go ahead and jot down notes, jot down feelings. So definitely beneficial, definitely helps you escape where you are in the moment, how you're feeling, etc. So believe me when I tell you, it's not hyped. They're actually a thing. The next is the Mindfulness Companion, a creative guide to bring calm to your day. And this is by Dr. Sarah Jane Arnold. This is not one I was actually looking for. I just happened to come across it, I believe, in a Barnes & Noble's. This one is very like cool. You know, honestly, this is one of my favorites out of all the ones I have. And what's very interesting is each page has an activity for you to draw, and it also has a passage. And it's not so much always a passage, it's also an activity. And I will give an example right over here. So this activity was called Cultivating Acceptance. This is actually something I worked on recently. And I'm not gonna go ahead and read the whole thing for the sake of making you bored. But long story short, it asks you, you know, how are you feeling in the moment? It asks you to write how you're feeling in the moment. And in this moment, I put fearful, hopeful, and impatient. And it says, remind yourself that you are allowed to feel this way, even if it is uncomfortable. So basically, it's just, you know, a passage helping you get through what you need to get through. And of course, enjoying a creative, artistic experience by drawing and coloring in your feelings. So this is definitely one of my top 5 I recommend. Anybody that knows me that knows I'm a Pokemon fan. So this was actually a gift to me from my fiance. So when I started adult coloring, I went through this struggle where I consistently broke the color pencils. We looked at, you know, this remedy online where you take the color pencils, put them in a heating pad, warm them up, see if it'll help. They just kept breaking. And you know, the sharpener I had was kind of like one of those cheap dollar hand sharpener, and that didn't work. But I went ahead on Amazon and I got a handheld battery operated electric sharpener. Life-changing. I will go ahead and link that down below, because I definitely recommend, if you're gonna partake in adult coloring books with color pencils, you need that sharpener. So Pokemon, I believe he got it on Amazon. This one's slightly different, guys. This is both for children and adults. So the images are slightly bigger. They do have detail in the back of them, but it's nice because you see your God, this glare. Your Poke Pals, you know. You can go ahead and see your little, there we go. That is a sweet spot right there. Yeah, so you can go ahead and see your little Poke friends and go ahead and color those. So I definitely feel it's a good buy. This one is $15.99. It is made by Scholastic, Pokemon Coloring Adventures. So these, it's so hard to say because I have so many. I have these from National Geographic. This one is the Magnificent Oceans, and this is the Magnificent Animals. I got Magnificent Animals first, and it is definitely one of my favorites. I believe it's the one I colored in the most. Here's an example of what those images look like. You know, detailed art pieces of the animals. I will even go ahead and make myself vulnerable and show you what I did, if I could find it. Ah, blat out. I think this was the first one I did. Right, so just basic coloring in detail of the animals. But I love these pictures. I think they look beautiful, and to color them, I enjoy. I definitely enjoyed coloring this piece. Very relaxing, very therapeutic, and it was one of those mornings where my anxiety was just on a high, and I was like, you know, I need my books. This one I have not started yet, but I will pull up a page. Here's a good one. Here's one of the walruses hanging out at the bay. So I definitely recommend this because the pieces are amazing to color, and the backgrounds are pretty much open to imagination. So like these particular books, I'm noticing there's not really a background pattern. It's just like kind of like a plain white, and you could go ahead and use your imagination to whatever background you want. Are they in the water or are they on land? Cats, because you know, Nala's my main squeeze. If I can find her, she's somewhere. This is called Cats in Paris, a Magical Coloring Book by Won Sun Jang. This book is pretty awesome. It has tons of cat pictures. And it says Paris, but they're actually cat pictures from different cats all around the world. Different images to color. Backgrounds are pretty open as well. But here's another example. You know, just a basic cat image, cat playing with yarn, plain background. Definitely pick this one up for the sake of Nala. Everybody knows how much I love my Nala. And you just, you know, let Nala or any other cat in your life be your inspiration. Anybody knows me as well knows that I'm a Disney girl. These are the Disney Dreams Collections by Thomas Kincaid Studios. And this is by, yeah, they're both by Thomas Kincaid. They are a Dreams collection. Coloring books that have different images from different scenes of movies. But what's neat is, before I lie, let me see if both do it. Ah, yes. So, okay, perfect example right here. Here is Ariel and Eric in The Little Mermaid. This gives you a detailed image from a scene of the movie, not necessarily of the movie, but the characters in the movie. And right side by side it is the empty canvas for you to do your own. Now this is great because it's like, you can look at it both ways. It could be a challenge, like, hey, I want to match the picture, or hey, I want to use my imagination to make this image everything that this one isn't. So this has a lot of images from several movies. I want to say it bears closer to the classics, and it also tells you what scene it's from what movie it's from, and what's going on in the scene. Like, for example, here is Belle and the Beast, and it says here, Beauty and the Beast falling in love. So it shows them dancing, as well as Lumiere and Cogsworth. Why did I get that? Why did I have the accent? Watching them as they fall in love. And then here is the empty canvas for you to use your imagination. This one, I would say it is a total dub to try with crayon, unless you're like me and give no shame in coloring out of the lines. Like, I get why the lines are there, but like, why people make coloring out the lines such a big ordeal, I'll never understand. Like, there are bigger problems in the world. And color pencils, thin markers, I recommend these. I haven't colored in these yet though, but I want to. Here's another quick show of the other Thomas Kincaid. They're pretty much the same concept. It's just a matter of going through them and the images you want. And this Thomas Kincaid Studios also has like bigger, like drawing pad shaped landscapes of these that you can go ahead and tear out to have framed. One of my favorites, just for the sake of content, this is The Star Wars, 100 Images to Inspire Creativity and Relaxation. This is from the Art of Coloring collection by Disney Editions. This one I honestly didn't think I was gonna find. Well, again, I have the greatest fiance in the world. My therapist recommended adult coloring books, and I said, you know, I really don't want to sit there and color flowers and just color shapes. And we started Googling, and next thing you know, he worked an overnight shift and then came and got my books. He's truly amazing. But just to give you a sneak peek here, this is essentially what the pages in the book kind of look like. You have some darkened, outlined images already. Like, for example, Yoda's robe is somewhat darkened. You have images like that, but you also have, let me show a good example. Details ones like this, you know, and then you have pattern ones like this with the droids. I'm looking for, there was one unless I'm bugging. Perfect example. Then you have ones like this that are just strictly C-3PO, and he could be a full page gold, or we can make him rainbow. But either or, this is essentially how the book looks. My favorite thing about this book and this collection, hardcover, solid. Which, I mean, granted, it's like a hardcover made with like cardboard, but it gives me peace of mind when I throw it in a bag. It's not gonna get like all bent and gross. And then you have like interesting ones like this, you know, that you could kind of just color into different ships. All right, so there's that one. Last and most certainly not least is another Disney one. But when there are heroes, there are also villains. So this is the Art of Coloring Disney Villains, 100 Images to Inspire Creativity and Relaxation from the Art of Coloring Disney Editions collection. Now, one thing I will say about the Art of Coloring with the Disney collections, they have a ton. They have villains, they have heroes, I think they have heroes. They have villains, they have heroes, they have animals, they have princesses. These are a matter of taste. Like, I do like this book, I am not complaining. However, I really feel that if I would have seen this book in detail before I would have bought it, I probably would have not got it. And the reason why is sometimes you just want to color in a quick piece to get out that frustration or that anger or that fear or that anxiety you may have, and sometimes you want to sit there and color for hours. And a lot of these pieces, with the exception, for example, of this simple one of Cruella with Pongo mean mugging her at the bottom, this is what I would consider a quick and easy color. Whereas we have one here, and again, I'm not trying to steer you or steer you in any way. So if you want something that you can sit there and color for hours, go for it. Me, it's a matter of mood and preference and how I'm feeling, hence why I have 11 different books. But some people will buy one just like the Mindfulness coloring book, and they are set. They will color that book until they're out of pages. But again, matter of preference, just giving you my qualm on what I like. So you'll have that simple one of like Cruella, and then you'll have one of this, of the big baby from Toy Story 3, but you see it's him, but it's also the details of his shirt, and then a ton of the word mama, like in the background. So it's like, I'm going to be here forever. And then, same thing from Toy Story 3, you have Welcome to Sunnyside, and you have Lotso, which I don't know if you've seen Toy Story 3, so I'm not going to spoil it, but he pisses me off. Comment down below on how you feel about Lotso. But Lotso has, you know, a bunch of little patterns coloring him. So even if I wanted to go ahead and just color this real quick, I'm kind of wasting the page, in my opinion, because I have all these little grooves inside of him to color. And I feel like if it was just him, and maybe a different background of like several different patterns that I could color, I would be okay with that. But it's him, patterns in him and then patterns behind him. And I don't really know, I'm not really crazy about that. I did color in this book though, because with COVID and I really just didn't want to go out and return it. I said, you know, the days that I'm feeling adventurous and I want to do more, I will go ahead and color in this one. You also have pages like this. Like for example, these are the playing cards from Alice in Wonderland. So you have that as well. But I just want to show you very quickly. I mean, this book, don't get me wrong, covers a lot of villains. It goes from classic original Toy Story to Jasper and Horace and 101 Dalmatians to Gaston to what's his name, Syndrome from Incredibles, the one that's a little kid and then grows up and is like trying to out Mr. Incredible. Spoiler alert. Hades from Hercules, like Jafar, Scar. You know, it has a lot of classic Disney villains. So Prince John from Robin Hood. So if you're a big Disney villain fan, I definitely feel like this is one you should pick up. Here's one I did of Cruella. I feel she came out amazing. I did this with, what did I do this with? Color pencil. I did this one with color pencil. But what's interesting is, you know, it's her driving. I think she's everybody's mood, trying to get to work. And she has a bunch of the Dalmatian pups behind her. And all I had to do, I mean, I say all I had to do, but it took me a minute, was go ahead and color in their collars. So that pretty much wraps up my adult coloring book haul. I wouldn't say so much as a haul, more of a collection. Again, matter of preference. Start small, start looking at different options. I would suggest pick one book that you find that you really have an interest in. Pokemon, Marvel, patterns, flowers, fantasy, dragons. They have an adult coloring book for everything. They even have adult coloring books for specific shows. They have ones for Golden Girls, Office, Once Upon a Time, tons. So do your research. I will go ahead and link all of these down below if I can find their links. Majority of them I did get from Barnes & Noble. I know Barnes & Noble is not everywhere and they're starting to become scarce because a lot of them are closing down. So I may just go ahead and link their Amazon link. Or I may just go ahead and link the B&N, Barnes & Noble link of where I got them, and then you can go ahead and compare prices on your own. We are gonna go ahead and start a new segment on EP Life before I let you guys go. It's gonna be called Color and Chat. So essentially what we're gonna do is every week, one of my videos is gonna be a color and chat. I will pick an image from one of the adult coloring books and I will sit here and I'm gonna try to pick not a detailed one so I don't bore you to tears. Or I may start one and we're gonna chat about a topic. So these topics are gonna be on a variety of things. We definitely need to cover how we got Nala. We definitely need to cover what's been going on with me health-wise these past 3 months. We have a lot to catch up on. So we are gonna go ahead and start that segment very soon. Maybe, I would say as soon as Sunday. We're gonna go ahead and start our first color and chat. There will be disclaimers before the videos because some are gonna be about TTC, you know, David and I's TTC journey, or how we adopted Nala, or how did we choose, you know, something for our apartment. So the content may not be for everybody, but we're gonna go ahead and put disclaimers ahead of time to spare you in the event that it's something that doesn't interest you, or it's something that may gross you out, or whatever makes you happy. But in all seriousness, with this pandemic and everything going on in the world and everything that happened in DC and everything that's continuing to happen in the world, global warming, climate change, politics, life, and jobs, it's important to have an escape. And I feel that coloring is definitely one of mine. It's not something that's judged. It's not something that's looked down upon, at least by people that I'm surrounded by. And if somebody does look down on it, at the end of the day, it's what makes you happy and what's gonna keep you sane. So, color on. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching here on EP Life. And like I've always said, the best is yet to come. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.